and welcome to this story of Startups of London. Today we have Arogya from the Illumina Accelerator, and I'm looking forward to hearing your story. So can you start by telling us your story before all this, before the accelerator, before you've built the startup? What were your key wants out of life?
We're academicians, we're scientists. I'm a molecular and microbiologist. I've been working in a lab for over a decade doing research, but I wanted more. I was learning how to do research, but what I wanted to do was impact people's lives, make a difference to human health. And I was doing research. It was exciting, but not enough. I wanted more. I wanted to make real world, actionable, executionable things to do. And that's why we built Arogya.
For me, I'm an engineer in biotechnology. For me also, it was very important that we're doing something that has an impact, that gets translated specifically, because again, I'm from an academic background as well. And I've seen a lot of excellent research happening everywhere, but it never gets translated into something that the society can actually use, that can be used to diagnose people or treat them or help them get better. And doing something that can actually make that translation was super important to me. So this whole idea behind Arogya AI was exactly that let's also do a little bit of our own research, but it should get immediately translated into a product that people can use to make their lives better.
There's something very clearly that you want, and you need to build the company to actually to start up to reach that goal. What was the things that you realized early on about building a company? Realizations, unexpected events, or sometimes founders run into problems that made you potentially think about joining an accelerator and apply for an organization like Illumina, for example?
Yeah, one of the core needs for our product, or to build the product and validate it, was to do DNA sequencing, the genomic sequencing of the bacteria or the causative agents of these infectious diseases. One option was obviously to raise a lot of funds and spend those funds on sequencing those genomes. The Illumina Accelerator gives us that opportunity. They enable us as a sequencing resource, as well as they give us access to their entire ecosystem, which comes with a lot of experience, not just for the technology, but for also the business side of things. So the Illumina Accelerator made perfect sense for Arogya AI because it fit the bill straight up. We were able to enable our technology through their resources, as well as plan out the execution of the business along with their expertise.
Zooming in to the growth journey of your business, what were some of the hardest decisions you had to make?
One of the hardest decisions we had to make was to let one of our team members go, because we didn't have the resources to sustain that employee as part of our team. That was one of the hardest decisions. One was not really a decision or a choice, but we were supposed to travel to the United States from India for the Illumina Accelerator program. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we had to stay put and do the program virtually. It wasn't really a choice, but it was really hard to not be there in person. We were really looking forward to be in San Francisco in person, to be a part of the accelerator program.
So what was the biggest lesson out of this particular problem and also other problems in general? What were your most important lessons learned out of these last 12 months?
One of the biggest lessons we've learned is how to position ourselves and articulate our value proposition, where we stand in how we create a niche for ourselves in the market. What is the gap that we're addressing? And the accelerator has helped us articulate that niche that Arogya AI carves out for itself in the market and the industry, which is essentially deems Arogya AI as a global company that has a vision to combat antimicrobial resistance manifesting infectious diseases. We start with tuberculosis in India because that is the largest market. And currently, 1/3 of the global TB burden is in India alone. Articulating that as a whole was one of the most biggest learnings and lessons that we take away at this point.
How about in terms of thinking about the business, strategizing about the business? What are your thoughts on this, Avlakit? I would like to hear your perspective on what is it like to build a company that you wouldn't have thought of before you joined in or before you started this?
It's been quite amazing. I mean, for me especially, I was not even looking towards building a company. I had pretty much just called Prapti as an old friend to catch up. When she mentioned that she's even thinking about starting a company, and then she was like, yeah, but I need somebody with bioinformatics, expertise. And I was like, sure, that sounds great. And the learning curve in the past 1 year has been so exponentially steep because coming from, a background where I had no idea how businesses work or what they are, what a financial model is, that business model is separate from a financial model, to actually knowing how to make these things, actually making them, learning, all the nitty-gritties of it. It's been quite an amazing journey. It's been very steep. And it's been a lot of fun. We have had actually fun doing it. And I think that's most important because that's what gets you going, because you're actually enjoying it. You're passionate about what you're doing.
What are the next big challenges? What are the next big milestones for you?
The most immediate milestone that we have is to carry out our clinical validation with Illumina. So since we can't be in the Bay Area right now, we're expecting kits to be shipped to India, and we prepare the samples and get that process going. It's been a little hard with the pandemic, so there are some delays that are unforeseen, but we're working as hard as possible. We have the support from the Illumina team, and everyone's just, working towards making it happen. So our clinical validation is our next milestone that we are looking forward to clear before we go into our fundraise.
Thank you very much for sharing your story. I'm really looking forward to seeing your company grow, because you have such an incredible value proposition, not just for a particular business or an industry, but for every individual in the world. So thank you very much for working on this, and I wish you the best from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm Global Head of Illumina Accelerator. We're a company creation engine focused on building genomics-driven startups. We have 2 locations, one in the San Francisco Bay Area and one in Cambridge, UK. And at Illumina, our mission is to unlock the power of the genome to improve human health. And we know we can't do it alone. So over the past 6 years, we've been partnering with entrepreneurs across the globe to unlock the power of the genome, to help the entrepreneurs and the startups build genomics-driven companies in the therapeutic space, in diagnostics, in synthetic biology, and direct-to-consumer software, research tools, applications. We've really been able to work with entrepreneurs to kind of push the boundaries of where genomics can go.
Hey, I'm Anya, and I'm the head of Illumina Accelerator Cambridge. So entrepreneurs, we're on the hunt to find the best genomic startups across the globe. What we're looking for is raw talent. We provide access to capital, sequencing credits, coaching, as well as access to state-of-the-art lab facilities. Apply now, as we can't wait to meet you and help you accelerate your company.